coming across the line.
Up towards the line. Nice Will Sponge across it, and he's gone pole position with a 21.594. Great lap from the, well, I would say the CEO of the league, but we kind of run it here, don't we?
Yep.
We're better than him.
The Kickstarter Nello, don't think improved, but he's currently P7. As next across the line will be Dondedge. Crosses the line, goes second faster, goes onto the front row of the grid. Mitch obviously didn't want to improve, currently P3. Alfie in the Haas going up to P10. Let's see what his teammate Vital can do. Goes into the pits and speeds into the pits as well. As next we're going to go on board. We're going to go to Jonas, who crosses the line, takes pole position away from Sponge with a 21.2. Let's see what his teammate of Deco can do. Only good enough for P3. So the second row of the grid. Edvir goes P4. And then the Aston Martin of Womack's pits. And so it's going to be the Williams of Jonas starting from pole position for the 10-lap sprint, which will come up in a few moments' time.
So we have everyone lined up on the grid. And it is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights in Qatar for the sprint race. And it's lights out and away we go. The McLaren gets an excellent start, and Jonas, he's already taken the lead away from him as we go side by side, and that's Mason in the background. But decking at the start as Jonas stays ahead of Sponge in towards turn 1. We got Deco just following behind that. Edvir up to 4. Dondedge keeps his P5, followed by the commentators battling Mitch for P7. As Deadshot catches up to them, and up to P8 he goes. We have the Alpine of Hazard just following behind the V-car, and it's a little bit laggy on board with the Alpine, who's struggling, trying to keep it on the track at the moment with the lag issues, as he's ghosting through basically everyone.
Oh, and there's a big crash with Ollie and the Kicksauer Nello facing the wrong way at the turn 6 hairpin.
On the outside, or the inside now, for turn 3, up the hill towards turn 4, Alfie and Finn still side by side, the Haas and Red Bull scrapping it out as there was a little bit of contact between the two of them. Finn and Alfie both go off the track, and Alfie tries to go round the inside in towards turn number 6 at the hairpin, as the Red Bull has a little bit of a switchback just behind them now, and that is move done for Alfie. Leaders of Deco and Edvir as we go down the straight onto lap 8 we go. Edvir just trying to defend from Deco, who goes to the left side and through on the V-car. As further down the order we have Dondedge and Mitch, no changing from them as Sponge as well. But there's 3 wide heading down towards turn 1. That is Womack with an absolutely amazing double overtake down towards turn number 1 as he gets through on the Red Bull and the Alpine.
Back for the battle for 7th. Womack's and the commentator's going to have a look round the outside with DRS. He's going to go round the outside of Womack's. Womack's obviously not deploying, trying to recharge some of his batteries. He's going to go side by side through turn 2. And Womack's lets the commentator have P7. Coming around the final couple of corners, Jonas absolutely dominated this sprint. Led every single lap, being actually quite quiet, really. Has had a nice quiet race, but Jonas comes across the line to win the sprint in Qatar. But the battle for P2 is clear as Deco gets P2. But Edvir, actually Edvir got P2 on the road, but with his 3-second time penalty, loses it and drops down to P5. Be Mitch taking P3, Dondedge P4, Edvir P5, Sponge P6, commentator P7, and Womack takes the final championship point in the sprint. The next to cross the line will be an Aston Martin of Dondedge as he heads around the final corners. Vital retires in the pits. He's done enough for his quali. He'll be starting P5.
So Dondedge up to the line.
Crosses the line, goes P4 with 127.7, and goes on to the second row of the grid.
Good.
As Jonas crosses the line, goes pole with a 121.198. Finn goes P2 with 121.6. As Edvir takes P2, but that was momentarily as Welsh Sponge goes P2 with a 121.3. Let's see what Deco can do up to the line, only good enough for P3. It's going to be Jonas again, unless Nello can improve, which I don't think he's going to. No, he doesn't. Womack up to line, only good enough for P10. The commentator pulls into the pits, and they got the Mercedes of Mitch. Crosses the line, goes only good enough for P4 with 121.398. And for the second time today, Jonas and Sponge, and it's the same top 3, possibly same top 4 as it was in the sprint. With Jonas, Sponge, and Deco. Here we go then to 5 red lights for the main race here in Qatar for round 9 in VRL Season 1, and it's... Okay,
Lights
everybody
out,
went
away
before
we
the lights
go.
went out on my screen, but it is lights out, and here we go in Hazard.
Speaking of, the Alpine of Hazard is just...
Stood still, good.
Yeah.
But as we head down towards turn 1 as an RB off the track there, that is the RB of Ollie is actually going to go 3 wide, and Hazard's been disqualified from the session by parts of the dangerous catch. They're still going 3 wide, further back between Edvir, Dondage and Vital, I think, as they head towards turn 4, and Edvir gets the move done up to P6, and a bit further up Mitch is having a look at the McLaren of Welsh Sponge, going to get the switchback down from turn 6 down towards turn 7, and Mitch gets the switchback done. Our driver's keeping it nice and clean, relatively clean, as actually Mitch, I think, actually no, yeah, Mitch had a move.
Oh, Jonas is off. Jonas
has spun. Jonas has spun at turn 4, and that has caused a lot of things as Hazard's left the session after being disqualified on lap 1 for not getting away. But did Mitch do a little bit of contact with Jonas to cause him to spin around and managed to get back within the DRS of the leader, but further back they've got 3 wide between Dondage, no, not between, well, yeah, we've got a four-way battle for P4 with Edvir, Dondage, Sponge and Ollie as they head through turn 1 and turn 2, and Edvir up to P4 as Mitch is going to pull to the left-hand side. Finn doesn't really want to fight that as much, and Mitch takes that P2. As actually, I thought I saw something in the background. I thought I saw somebody spun, and there's a Vital who was going sideways down the straight, I saw, and then actually has lost his complete front wing, so maybe had a little bit of contact with someone as he goes wide through turn 1. A little bit of a drift, but that gap between Sponge and the top 5 is just getting bigger and bigger by the lap, as actually there's a Ferrari of
Mason. Yep.
Mason, who's in the gravel, and it could be that could be.
Oh, Sponge is round as well.
Over a
Sponge is off the track.
Sponge has had a spin through turn 8 and turn 9.
He's in AI,
and it does look like he is in AI as he returns to the circuit. As Deco sets the fastest lap at 124.790 on those fresh hards, and actually the battle for the net P2 as Mitch actually this is for net P1 as he's going side by side with Deco through turn 1 and through turn 2, and Deco has that inside line as Mitch got to try go for the switchback as he head through turn 3 and in towards turn 4. Mitch still there on the outside, gets a little bit squeezed off by the Williams of Deco as they head through turn 4. And it's Mitch only able to gain that 1 place down that main straight as Finn gets past Deco, as Mitch going to go round the outside of Sponge, where Sponge is going to keep this battle going even on his 50% 1 hard, but Mitch sails round the outside and takes the net race lead as Mason retires in the pits.
Called it.
And as now, and actually Mitch is going to try and run away from this as Finn is going to drop back as Sponge gets another 3-second time penalty for multiple track limit warnings, but he tried to have a look down the inside of Mitch to try and put the fight up to the Mercedes driver, and actually Sponge is managing to keep on it. It's actually, I think Finn or Deco has had a little bit of a mistake. Actually no, Finn's had a mistake. He's dropping down the order. He's now down to P8. I think he had a little bit of an oversteer or got pushed wide a little bit through turn 6. Then Dondage might actually win this race as Finn gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple track limits, and now it's Williams versus Mercedes as they're going to go 3 wide, and they absolutely swamp the Mercedes of Mitch and Williams. Both the Williams as Jonas takes the lead of the race. Jonas, and it is currently a Williams 1-2 yet again for the 2nd race in a row. The back Sponge battling Finn, gets that P6 back, but I don't think he will keep it at the end of the race due to the amount of time penalties he has occurred over the race, and the Red Bull go right into the gearbox of Sponge as they're going to go side by side through turn 5 into the hairpin of turn 6. Who's going to be late on the brakes? Sponge is later on the brakes, but Finn tries to go for the switchback, but can't quite get the traction as they head down in towards turn 7. The long right-hander, Finn pretty much pushing Sponge through. They go side by side through turn 8 into turn 9. drivers keeping it nice and clean, and Finn has a little bit of an oversteer and it hits into Sponge. Sponge gets a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting, and that could be Sponge's race pretty much over with. No, 28 seconds of penalties, I think it should be. As actually Finn's going to forces his way down the inside, gets a little bit of oversteer, forces Sponge off the track yet again, but this time Finn's got the DRS. Down the main straight we go. Is he going to pulls to the inside? Is it going to go? Is it going to go 3 wide down into turn 1? They're going to go down 3 wide into turn 1. A little bit of contact, a little bit of wheel banging between the 3 of them as the Red Bull gets up the inside and Sponge tries to keep it.
And the V-car running the outside and going for the inside for turn 2. Oofed. He's going for a double move. Go on, Ollie.
As Ollie looks for the move right to the inside of Finn, turn to the outside. Is it going to go down towards turn 4?
3 wide again.
Sponge 3 wide. They go 3 wide. It's turn 4. It's not going to end well as Finn
beautiful.
Gets away with it, and so does Ollie. A little bit of overstay moment from Finn. He won the sprint earlier, got pole in both qualifying sessions, rounds the final corner. If you take him out, he will bring it back with an absolute mega recovery drive. Jonas crosses the line to win round 9 in Qatar, and Deco is going to cross the line to make it a Williams 1-2. It's maximum points. Well, not really maximum points, but good points going to the Williams team in Grove. Mitch takes home P3, finishes around last place on the podium. Then you got Edvia and Don in P4 and P5 respectively. Nello P6
goes to 6th.
Womax goes to 6th. Aston Martin finishes 5th and 6th. That's a good lot of points for the Aston Martin team. The commentator finishes P8, Finn P9, and Ollie is going to come around the final corner with his wing damage to take home the final points of the race. And then you got Carl, who is going to cross the line 1 lap down, and then you've got Sponge, who did the whole race on hards, got it up to 88%. His tyres didn't pop, and crosses the line to finish P11 just outside the point.